makes your day.
Hey, out of the way. Get up, kid. That's why I will never let myself be a millionaire. I will go to 999,000. And that's where I will stop. Because once you're a millionaire, you're an enemy of the people, right? Right. All right, what do we got next, Jules? Let's take them somewhere. Let's give them a ride here today.
Should we do We Watched?
We watched comedians. You know, I love this. This lockdown, I tell you every time, it's like this lockdown was invented for me. I've gotten it all right? You could go down the list. I've said it a million times. There's about 12 amazing things that happened to me during this lockdown. And one of those amazing things was that all comedians and all comedy clubs, my two biggest enemies in town, fuck, they're done. Literally, they're fucking done. I mean, really think about this. We've had this lockdown. Every comedy club in the nation has basically been closed. And the ones that are open, okay, you seat 16 people in masks on a roof. Good luck paying your fucking bills with that. Good luck paying the... So basically, any comic that's been doing stand-up during the lockdown is doing a free gig. Doesn't really count. The only comics that are making it are the ones selling ads and selling horrible merch online right now, okay? Like Tim Dillon and people like this. But think about it. There were thousands and thousands of comics that have not stepped on stage since Corona started. What do they do now? Are they just riding out debt? Are they just like riding a wave of debt right now and just hoping that
They got that money from the comedian fundraiser.
Those comedian fundraisers went quick, too, by the way. Remember, at the beginning of Corona, they're like, we're going to save comedy. That lasted about 2 weeks. Nobody's saving comedy now. So you're going, what are all the comedians? They're really dying out, and every club is fucked. Every club is fucked. All my enemies that I collected over the last 9 years. Remember what I always said? I go, it's a lot of heavy lifting to take down a lot of these guys. I think they'll get what they deserve at one point, and then boom, COVID-19. What season 19, COVID-19. Could this be God's way of finally saying, you know what, Mike? You've been right this whole time. Here you go, Mike. A little year for you.
Everything's lining up.
Here you go, Mike. And he tosses me one of the best basketballs. And I go like this. I go, oh, look at that. I made it right in the hoop. Thanks, God. So everyone's being shut down. It really is phenomenal. We watched last night. You know, some comics are trying to prove that they're like troopers. They're going to power through COVID. It ain't cute. Here's one of my most hated comedians. And he's part of the three that everyone loves. And again, you know, Mersh is low-hanging fruit. I'll say that. Mersh is low-hanging fruit. Everyone hates Mersh. There's nobody who likes Mersh. So making fun of Mersh is almost gay and retarded. Everyone thinks Sam Morril, Mark Norman, and Joe List are three of the top comics today. Did you know this? Seriously. If you go ask people, they'll be like, yeah, those are the realest comics. And you know why that's happening? Because everybody else is so much worse. Tom Segura. Who do you have? You got Tom Segura, Andrew Santino. You got that guy who got put away. What is his name? This guy.
Oh, really,
What's his name?
Crystalia.
Crystalia. So every comic is so bad that Mark Norman, Joe List, and Sam Morril seem like standout acts, and people always like the best of the worst. That's how people go. I am here. I think this is a very important message. I'm going to fight these guys. I think Mark Norman, Sam Morril, and Joe List are absolutely fucking terrible. They're open mic level comedians, okay? They should not be the top guys. We're going to show you Sam Morril. He put out a comedy special at the beginning of COVID, didn't he?
Yeah.
And everyone was promoting this thing saying it was so good, and I showed you a little bit of it. I said, this is terrible. He's terrible, and you're being fooled by comedian cadence because people like an authoritative, tough guy from New York, a swamp. He's not bad. This is Sam Morril. I'm scared to be around people. Gulp, gulp. But he's put on this act where he pretends he's like George Clooney, but from New York, so he's tough. And everyone's falling for it. All over the country, people are falling for it. He put out a new rooftop special. Mary Poppins shit. And they're up on roofs doing comedy for 4 people at a time. And they're filming it. I mean, this is the end days of comedy. I am so happy. Thank you guys for being here for the end of stand-up, an art form that right before COVID, I said, this is an outdated art form that needs to be gone. And then God goes, would you like a terrible disease that could or not, may or may not be real? We watched Sam Morril's special. Wait till you see this. I'm going to play it from the beginning here. It's going to make you sick.
That's almost the best part.
Yeah, the intro's the best part.
We didn't watch it for
and
long,
I hope you
to
didn't
be
fall.
honest.
But look at this. It's got 70,000 views, 5.4 thousand likes. Only 53 people disliked it. I'm going to be Studio 54. If you'd like to support my patron. And I said, Jules, I go, let me guess. The comments were all, best special ever. Oh, Comedy Central's kicking this out. They should have signed you. This should be on Netflix. You're the best comedian ever. And lo and behold, those are the comments. So somebody, somewhere, some way, Kanye, is being tricked. They're tricking these people with cadence, comedy cadence. We're going to show you the beginning. If you don't think this is awful, you're one of them. Watch this. Sam sucks. Up on the roof, Sam Morril. Oh, I love impact font in lowercase. That looks good. You know the stock font Impact that no one should be using ever again? That font was bad when it first came out. It's a cheap sports font. He used Impact font lowercase. Do you think this will ever be cool streetwear one day? One day, like 30 years from now, we're going to go, dude, Impact on a shirt. That's so retro.
You never know.
You never know.
Just never know.
It is the absolute worst font. Impact. Delete it from your font manager. Here you go. Listen to this. You're going to love this.
Comedy clubs are closed, but I still want to do stand-up.
Watch.
I think we just got to get people's roofs.
And listen to the audio. You hear, shh. That's called noise floor. That's called, you got to listen to a 45-minute comedy set like this. That's called idiotic. It's called Dumbo. Watch what he does.
Comedy clubs are closed, but I still want to do stand-up. I think we just got to get people's roofs.
Got to see his face here.
Get a mic and amp. That's all we need.
Nah.
Camera crew, you, Dom, a few other people. We shoot it. We cut it up. That's the special.
Oh, wait.
That's a special.
And I want to tell you about Sam Morril. Sam Morril got himself confused with a cool sitcom guy. Not like a guy, an actor. He got himself confused with a sitcom character. Yep, he's imitating the classic, sarcastic, I'm always right, but I'm also stupid sitcom stylings. You might have seen this character in a shitty movie. He emulates shitty writing that only wannabes and posers would even write. You know how, like, when you watch a sitcom, everyone's, like, so sarcastic, and it's like, they're stupid, but they're always right, and everyone else is stupid. I don't know if I'm explaining that right, but Sam Morril is not a person. I want to prove this to you.
He thinks he's like Nick from New Girl.
Yes, exact. That's perfect. You know how Nick from New Girl acts? It's complete bullshit. It's disgusting.
That's been seen a million times before.
And no one actually acts like this in real life, and you shouldn't. But Sam Morril, he's picked up. And I hope you can see the subtleties of this. I'm going to zoom in on his stupid face. Watch what he does here. If this doesn't make you sick, I don't know. You're just not up to date. Watch this.
Clubs are closed, but I still want to do stand-up. I think we just got to get people's roofs. Get a mic and amp. That's all we need. Camera crew, you, Dom, a few other people.
Watch
we
his
shoot
face.
it. We cut it up. That's the special.
Oh, you're so cool. We do this. We do that. That's a special. You're not this guy. You're not this guy. And by the way,
I don't want anybody to be this guy.
No one is this guy. Here's the problem. Nobody's Vince Vaughn. Nobody's, I'm just using an example. Nobody's this guy. All right? And I'll tell you something. Beth Stelling. You know, he dates all the top female comics. Beth Stelling, legs. Taylor Tomlinson, this big one. And they all dump him after about a month because they'll be at a comedy show and Sam Morril will kill because everyone is so bad. Sam Morril will go up there and trick people with his cadence and his sound, and they'll go, oh my God, this is like a New York gritty comic. No, he's tricking you. He gets off stage, everyone's drunk, and Taylor Tomlinson's there, and he does this thing where he goes on the bar and he's like, pretty good set. I mean, not as good as mine, but you're getting there. And they're like, ooh, he's so smooth. No, but they fall for this character, and then a month down the line, they're sitting in their apartment, and they realize he's an insecure fucking beta bitch. He's nothing like this suave New York Sex in the City burger character that he's trying to emulate here. And they go, get the fuck out of here. I could prove it. Do we have that time code where he talks about how the writing goes stale?
I think it's
do the transcript.
It doesn't have it. But I think it's definitely within the first 10 minutes.
All right, so let's watch here. And if there's any comedy that you do like in here, please refrain from laughing. Okay? Please hate him. Watch this.
Good.
Oh, that's us. Oh.
Watch. Here he comes. Wearing a mask.
Listen to this.
Insane election, right? You can tell this is a big election by the celebrities who are telling you to vote.
Listen to the
It's
sound.
people we're not used to hearing from.
He is such a... I'm telling you, I could go right up to his face and flick his nose and he'd go... He wouldn't know what to do. Not a tough guy, not a secure guy. This is a complete fabrication, and I would say kidnapping of a television personality, and he's trying to pull this over. I want to destroy him. I'll tell you that right now. And Mark Norman, if you want to be friends with them, then you're fucking next. Now, these could be jokes. We don't know. Reread the disclaimer if you're upset. I got to fast forward a little bit. It can't be right at the top here. That joke. Oh, you found it?
I'm looking for it.
Oh, you're looking for it. All right, let's see. And look how you... Hey, everybody. He's a con man. A con man.
That was annoying.
Listen to this.
Everyone thinks their free speech is at stake. It's not. You can say a lot.
You're going to like that joke. Remember, it's not hard to do all these jokes. I come up with 70 million great jokes, freestyling off the top of my head every day. Okay? They're throwaways. I don't write them down, save them for 7 years, and repeat them for 16 people. Watch this.
If there's a God, don't you feel like God is up in the sky right now, flat screen TV? Every country's a different channel. I feel like America, we're like the Bravo of God's cable
Notes
package,
in his back
like,
pocket.
Look, it's entertaining, but these people are fucking trash. God watches 6 straight hours.
Look how they cut off his head. Nice filming. Cut off the top of your head for the film?
Of America, like, ugh, I hate myself.
They even put a vignette over it, and the vignette is covering half his eyes, like a visor of a car.
Got to start reading again.
Look at this.
Growing up now must be the worst. Kids just beat the shit out of you, and they emotionally fuck with you on the internet. Cyberbullying feels right. Like when
So we're just skipping ahead. We're trying to find this
that
part.
guy will heal. You know it won't. It's
No
Go to
trans.
8:50.
Oh, wow,
8:30.
8:30. My old bedtime. Let's see, 8:30 here. Let's see if he does it here.
I think it's coming
where you're
up.
coming from. However, you're like, ooh, that was my whole day.
This isn't comedy, folks.
I heard a guy in Times Square the other day say to his girlfriend, "Shut up, bitch." And I was like, that is not okay, but he is crushing me in time management.
And I want to remember, look up Beth Stelling. Look up who she is and what she stands for. He dated her. Look up Taylor Tomlinson. Watch her special. Look what she stands for. He dated her. So if you find any of these jokes funny, there's no chance in hell you like Beth Stelling if you're any sort of man or alt-right person. If you hate the Jews, you got to hate Beth Stelling. He's dated them all. He's dated all the worst PC, women's rights, women's march comics. If all of your past girlfriends wore the pussy hat in the women's march, you're a bad person too. So don't get confused and think, oh, he's a gritty New York. No. This isn't gritty New York. He's part of the PC Women's March set. Here we go. Wait till you hear this. I'm going to prove that this guy isn't who he claims he is.
You know what women hate when you're arguing? They hate when you tell them to calm down. So now when she yells at me, I say,
This could be it.
love your energy. Love what you're doing.
Okay, that's called a lie. You don't have the guts. All the women he dates are in control. They're the power woman. They're the bigger comic. Beth Stelling, bigger comic than him. Taylor Tomlinson, bigger than him, Netflix special. And you don't do that. You sit there and they take control. You play the bait, and then they start realizing, oh, he's not that suave. He's not that cool. Let's get rid of it. They don't dump you because you're an asshole or anything like that. They dump you because you're a weak loser who probably, like, doesn't really have any money. You're a fucking fag. Look at you. They start seeing you in a new light. You know, in the dark comedy club after 800 whiskey sours, and hey, nice set. Could be better, but they go, ooh, who's this? Who's this dark, handsome? And they wake up the next morning. They go, this is like a Jewish geek. This is like a fucking nerd. That's what you are, bro.
I bet he does a lot of he reminds me of one of my exes where he would try to be such a tough guy all the time, and then when you get home at night, then he would cry and cry.
You had a lot of exes that cry and cry. Yeah, he probably cries.
I'll never do it again.
I'm fighting with my dad. Imagine a guy that
it was always like a mom thing.
Yes.
Like he had this bad relationship with his mom, and then
or
would
dad.
get home at night, and then he would, in the middle of the night, be crying suddenly.
Yes.
About a mom issue.
This is the type of guy who like cries
like
because of his dad.
Yes, exactly.
By the way, Jules, when's the last time you ever saw me cry?
When your dog Ari died.
Any other times?
When you thought your mom had COVID.
Any other times?
Those are the only 2 times.
There you fucking go. This guy cries over non-cryable things. Let's hear some more.
Love what you're doing.
Oh, this is where I'm going to catch him.
More. I'm annoying. I repeat myself. I said to her, I was like, man, I love this Thai restaurant. She goes, you've told me that 3 times.
Here we go.
And I said, you're the only person that I hang out with anymore.
Because he was talking about relationships. This is so good. Because he was recently dumped by Taylor Tomlinson. And they're talking about, you know, these comedians. They let it slip, right? Everything's a lie, but it's also based on their real life. So here's what's happening. He's sitting around with Taylor. And she starts complaining that, well, here, listen to the joke, and then I'll break it down.
Love what you're doing.
You're gonna like
more. I'm annoying. I repeat myself. I said to her, I was like, man, I love this Thai restaurant. She goes, you've told me that 3 times. And I said, you're the only person that I hang out with anymore. You want to spend all your time with me, there's going to be reruns. I can't bring it every night.
You can't.
That's what a relationship is. It's like a TV show where the writing gets progressively worse.
Oh, really?
Oh, really, dude?
Jules, you're in a relationship, right? You're around me 24/7. Does the writing get progressively worse around here?
No. I get furious when you fall asleep because the show is over.
Wow. So let me tell you this. Here at the Mike David household, I'm telling you. It never fucking ends. This girl's...
You guys know Redbar?
You know Redbar?
Like Redbar?
It's like Redbar all night, all day, and she's happy and laughing. He's lived with this girl for 2 months, and she's complaining that his bits are stale and he's not as funny as she thought he was. Okay? And he's even admitting it during this joke, saying this. Listen to this.
Times. And I said, you're the only person that I hang out with anymore. You want to spend all your time with me, there's going to be reruns. I can't bring it every night.
You can't bring it every night? Jules, have I ever bombed in life with you?
Never.
Have you ever gone, jokes are getting a little old? No, you go, they're getting newer and better, and every day I'm surprised.
The innovation.
Yes, and she's not kidding. Every day she's surprised and clapping and bowing and, can I get your autograph?
It's true.
If your girlfriend don't want your autograph every day, then you're a loser. Listen, and you're supposed to be the hilarious, amazing comic, and I'm the nobody hater.
I bet Taylor Tomlinson didn't run out of jokes.
No, you're running out of jokes after being in a relationship for 2 months. So this is what I mean about comedians. They write these specials, they write these sets, and that's all they have. They're not funny people. They're fakes. They want to be stand-ups. They're really losers. Believe me, Sam Morril off the top of his head couldn't come up with a slam. Couldn't come up with a joke to save his life. If I had him here, he'd be a puddle. He'd be nothing. What a pathetic person. You cannot be a comedian if you're the only way you could make somebody laugh is by writing it for 6 years and working it. Joe Rogan, same way. That's not a comedian. These are imposters, people. Let's hear some more.
Spend all your time with me, there's going to be reruns. I can't bring it every night.
Wow, you're a loser.
That's what a relationship is. It's like a TV show where the writing gets progressively worse.
Nope.
Because season 1, you're like, this is good.
Nope.
Season 3.
No, you know why it's good season 1 in the relationship? Because you're faking it. You're faking who you are. And then the girl falls for it, and then season 2, they go, oh, you're just an insecure loser. I thought, oh, so all of that were lines and shtick and acting. And he doesn't even realize he's admitting that. What a fucking piece of shit. You're lucky I'm not there because
people do a lot of relationship admittances
yes.
when they think that that's what everyone's relationship is like.
No, exactly. Like everyone talks about, this is people talking about relationships are tough and, every day you hate the person. No, you're a retard. You hooked up with another retard and you're clashing. That's not what relationships are. And by the way, relationships are not hard work. This is the biggest load of crap we've ever heard. Relationships are hard work. It's not. No, you're incompatible retards that rushed into it. Okay? And neither of you deserve life, let alone a partner in life. All right? And if we were there, Jules would be behind him, set up like a coffee table, and I'd give him a fucking knock, and you'd be going, ah!
Can't you
like Eminem in that video.
Can't you be the coffee
I sit
table?
back with this pack of zigzags in his bag and it's falling off the fucking tower. That's where I want you.
Fuck.
Let's hear some more.
3 comes along, you're like, we should kill off a character.
And they all hold the mic like they all try to be like Louis C.K. Look at this. They all try to do a different way to hold the mic, thinking that's going to make them be unique, but it's like look. You get it? Here, what's this thing?
My wooden pencil
Hold
holder.
the mic like this.
It's just so relaxed.
That doesn't make you unique. You're a dime a dozen, Sammy. A dime a fucking dozen! I want you listing Norman off that fucking roof. You hear me? Or Dylan Roof.
I was on the phone with my friend the other day, and you ever just not listen and then you guess at the end?
Shut up! And every comment is positive.
Did you want to see that scene where he's talking to a fan on the phone?
Yes.
5:35.
5:35. Which is probably all he could afford for lunch every day. That's the price that he doesn't want to go over because he's such a fucking loser. Look at this. He has a scene in his special. You know a special is good when it breaks away to scenes.
There might be more like this, but we couldn't
We
stand
couldn't.
it.
Oh, by the way, we turned this off after 20 minutes. It was that bad.
Sooner.
And by the way, when I say we turned it off after 20 minutes, this is my career. I have to watch this for a living. I couldn't. I said, you know what? I can't. The job's too hard. And I turned it off. So here's a scene. He's going to call somebody. And he's going to do a thing. He wanted to portray himself as a celebrity. So there's like a fan, and he's like, dude, my girlfriend would die if you call her. It's like, dude, this has got to be fake. But you know what? It's not fake. People have been tricked by all these comedians saying, oh, Sam Morril's best. You know how hard it is for me to untrick the world?
It's a tough job.
Tough job. See, this is more important than Mersh. Everyone knows Mersh sucks, right? And the people who watch Mersh, I don't even want them knowing I know it.
I know we just realized that the more we make fun of Mersh, the more that the other people who hate Mersh will come around here. And we don't know
they're
if
bad
the
people.
best
I'm telling
people.
you, anyone who listens, usually like even Sam Morril, I hate all these people, but at least there are normal people attached to these people, like Joe Rogan. I like covering Rogan because humanity watches Rogan. No part of humanity watches Mersh or Revenge of the Sis. I'm sorry if you're watching that show. Maybe you were confused. Maybe you're not who I'm talking about. But it's pretty safe to say that if you think Mersh is good, you're really like an awful specimen of humanity. And I don't want you around, Redbar. So sometimes I make a mistake here. While I think Mersh is a great fool and while we still have a Mershican idol, I don't want to poo-poo that, but I don't want any of his fans. I'm not saying that I make fun of these people just because I want their fans, but it is a nice... And it does feel good. It's not about stealing the fans.
It's not about the fans. It's about telling people what they
the
don't
truth.
know.
Waking
Everybody
people up.
knows that Mersh sucks.
Yeah. You can't wake up Mersh's audience, and if you did, it'd be trouble. It'd be worse. I don't want them around me. You know, ever since I started talking about Mersh, I'll tell you this, my life's been worse. And I'm not afraid to say it. The people who come around, now that I've started talking about Mersh, are disgusting. It's like leaving sugar all over your house during ant season. I'm attracting bugs. So when I diss Rogan, I'm not bringing in, and some people, but really, you got to learn this. You got to learn this, and podcasters should learn this. Do you really want those people, even knowing you exist? Do you want those people from the internet? And I'll tell you this, since I started covering Mersh, I've had more disgusting people come around me. And that ain't the life I want to live. That's not the life I want my 2 kids to see. And I find them to be, again, people that don't count. When I see Revenge of the Scissors audience, and maybe you're not one of them, maybe we're tricked. When I see them, I go, I don't value their lives. I don't think they should be around. This is how I feel. So, but with Sam Morril, you've had all your top comedians convince the world that he's the shit. So you've got all these people that do need to be unwound. Good people of the earth. People that don't deserve to be killed. Does this make any sense?
They're just confused.
And there's no bigger diss to Mersh than what I just said. Yeah. There's no bigger diss. Imagine somebody is kind of getting disgusted covering you because the people that you attract are so unbelievably bad and atrocious and stinky and dirty, and we're better than that.
Torm Delgado says Mike's right, so that's how
Thank you. And Torm
right
Delgado is good. Sometimes I'm not going to even say it because you're not there yet. Listen to what Sam Morril does with this fan on the phone.
Yeah. Homegirl Paul,
Watch this.
Puerto Rico? Yeah.
You say Hunter?
Sure, yeah.
Oh, okay, Puerto Rico. Imagine being this much of a cuck that you're at the show, and here's this guy, and he's like, dude, my girlfriend is your biggest fan. Will you call her? And he's like, oh, yeah, this is perfect for my special to show people I have fans. Imagine if I did something like what you're about to see.
Yo, Pallavi.
Yeah.
Hey, Pallavi, what's up?
Hi. What? Who is this?
It's Sam.
And remember, this isn't, somebody else didn't just film this and put it up. Sam filmed this call and put it in his special. Consider that when you hear the rest of what you're about to hear.
Oh my God, it's Sam! How fucking funny! I found out about you during quarantine, and you got me through quarantine. So.
Oh, thank you.
You got me through quarantine. You know why? Because Dave Attell put out a tweet. Oh, my Sam Morril's the best. Louis J. Gomez, you're responsible too. And then it gets to people. People are very stupid. People don't have time to make their own opinions. So if they see this, they go, oh, that must be a hardcore, gritty, awesome New York comic. They don't have time to uncover the scheme. That's why I'm here. So she's tricked. And listen, look how happy he is, by the way. Oh, my God, actually. Because I always consider these people to be fanless. I'll explain. When you go to their YouTube page, they got 1,000 likes and all these comments. That's fine. But do they really have fans? Does Joe List really have fans? Does Mark Norman even really have fans? They don't have fans like Redbar have fans, though. I think this, if people aren't collecting your merch,
then
you're not a real fit. You know what I mean? I think that's where it goes. Are people buying your merch once, or are they collecting every item? Are they framing it? So I don't believe these people have real fans. They're just people that are excited at the moment and tricked in the moment. But watch this. This is really repulsive.
Great to meet you. Oh my God, this is
I got you through quarantine. You're meeting me. That's like if I met Jack Daniels.
Is there any? He goes, wow, you're in quarantine and you got to meet me. And you're a big fan. That's like if I met Jack Daniels. You don't drink. Jack Daniels sucks. Okay? Jack Daniels is fucking cringe. People think Jim Beam is... No. Jim Beam is what somebody who isn't trying to be a poser drinks. Jack Daniels is what a fucking fag drinks. All right? And first of all, to like do a joke to a fan... Oh, wow, a fan's on the phone. Well, wait till she hears a tailored joke to her. And then he was so proud of it, and he filmed it and put it up. I won't even speak to a fan. And I don't even consider you fans. I consider you all future enemies.
I consider you all friends.
I consider you all people that are going to fucking kill me, and all I want to do is keep you on the rails so before I die. Just keep you on the rails long enough so that I can get through this life without getting killed. So there it is, Sam Morril special. We watched it so that you don't have to report it.
Also,
report it on YouTube for racism.
Tyler in the chat says that his God watching the Earth as a show joke is stolen from South Park.
Yeah, all these guys, they pick up and they lift and they lift and they lift. That's why you can never, a stand-up special is so stupid. You can't really do any art these days unless it's throwaway. I'll tell you this, from merch to music, to a rap song, to a stand-up special, if you commit to doing serious art that isn't just off the top of your head and a throwaway, you're basically doing someone else's art. Sorry, there's just too many people doing everything. You know how hard it is to design a t-shirt in 2020? You have every human being. You know, when I first started the show, I wasn't competing against 20 million people a day designing t-shirts. Any design you do right now, it's been done. Someone else did it. Someone else is doing it right now. Someone else is going to do it tomorrow. Any song you make, been done. Someone else did it. Someone else is doing it right now. Any stand-up special you make. So it's best to not write your shit down in stone. That's why I'm not going to intro. Everything's off the top of my head. If it's something someone else did, it's just off the top of my head. Throwaway, not a big deal. But to write it in stone like a stand-up does, it looks stupid. Stand-up does not work anymore. It's a dying art form. Don't do it. Unless it's off the top of your head, which is why podcasts should replace stand-up right now. That's what it should be. And we don't need to go out in public to laugh. That's disgusting. That's like having an orgy. I have sex. I do it in the privacy of my own home. I don't go out and do it with 60 people untested, no mask. Okay? Going out and laughing in a crowd is the same thing as having a sick, twisted Hollywood orgy with guys, women, children, trans people. It's a mix. All right? Man. Does that prove points?
All right, points.
What do we got next year?
Well, that was We Watch.
That was We Watch. This is still the intro. You want to do light news?
Hell yeah.
You got to do news.
Or should we do one more American Idol before light news?
Let's do an American Idol. I love it. As you